to shake things up.
A cycle of anger isn't healthy.
I'll be healthy again, as soon as I make a couple of cheaters pay for blowing up my life.
There were a number of times when you or a member of your family needed a favor. This is a situation where you owe me one. Have a nice rest of your day.
It sounds like someone deliberately tried to hurt you.
Sounds like attempted murder.
Can't imagine how terrified you must have been.
I found out who did this.
I love you, Derek.
For one night, let me remind you who you still are.
I fell in love with an inconvenient man.
Now you have to deal with the inconvenient consequences. You see how that works?
You couldn't possibly hurt me more than you already have.
Don't try me.
We've got a problem. Protecting the family is our priority.
The final days of 2025 and the nascent hours of 2026 in Genoa City were a study in stark, painful contrasts, a glittering facade of celebration cracked open by a seismic tremor of human fragility. The week was dominated by the slow, devastating spread of a single, unthinkable piece of news. Anita Lawson, the resilient and beloved matriarch of the Lawson-Keynes clan, has been diagnosed with a serious, advanced form of cancer. This revelation, leaking not in a controlled, private moment but in agonizing fragments through the town's intricate social networks, cast a long, cold shadow over the traditional festivities, forcing characters to confront mortality, family, and the fragile architecture of their own lives just as the calendar urged them to look forward. The rumor mill grinds, a secret too heavy to hold. The week began not with a bang, but with a whisper. On Monday the 29th, a visibly shaken Lily Winters Howard was observed by Nate Hastings at Memorial, leaving the oncology wing. Nate, bound by professional discretion but personally connected to the family, was placed in an impossible position. His concerned, cryptic questions to Devon Hamilton, Lily's brother and his close friend, planted the first seed of dread. Devon, already sensing a distance in Lily, mistook it for lingering strife over business or the challenges of her blended family with Billy and Anita's daughter, Maya. Simultaneously, at the Grand Phoenix, Anita herself seemed off. The usually unflappable force behind the hotel's concierge desk was caught in moments of profound fatigue, her smile not quite reaching her eyes. A brief, tense phone call she took in the lobby, wherein she murmured phrases like treatment options and second opinion, was partially overheard by Sally Spectra. Sally, ever the survivor with a heart beneath her sharp edges, chose not to gossip but to act with uncharacteristic quietude, sending a pot of herbal tea to Anita's station with a simple note, "Thinking of you." The dam began to crack on New Year's Eve itself. At the Abbott Mansion's annual gala, a cornerstone of Genoa City society, the air was thick with sequins and champagne bubbles. Yet, the Lawson-Keynes contingent was a pocket of palpable tension. Maya, attuned to her mother in a way only a daughter can be, confronted Lily after noticing her mother's ashen complexion and her own sister's avoidance of direct conversation. The confrontation, held in Jack Abbott's tastefully appointed study amidst the distant sounds of laughter, was explosive. "Why is everyone treating her like she's made of glass?" Maya demanded. Lily, her own composure shattering, let the truth slip in a choked sob. "Because she is, right now. The diagnosis, it's aggressive, Maya." Billy, caught entering the room to fetch them for the midnight countdown, became the unwilling third witness. The secret, now shared among three siblings under immense stress, proved too volatile to be contained. In the agonizing hours that followed, Billy, wrestling with his own history of trauma and loss, confided in his brother Kyle. Kyle, in a misguided attempt to rally support, hinted at a major family health crisis to Audra Charles. By the time the first sunrise of 2026 broke over Genoa City, the rumor was no longer a rumor. It was a dark current running beneath every Happy New Year text and coffee shop conversation. Reactions in the glare of the new year, a tapestry of anguish and support. The fallout on January 1st and 2nd was immediate and differentiated, revealing the core of each character's relationship to family and crisis. Devon Hamilton was consumed by a complex storm of betrayal and fear. Learning the truth not from Lily but through the town's grapevine felt like a reopening of old wounds, the feeling of being an outsider in the family he fought so hard to fully belong to. His confrontation with Lily at the Chancellor estate was raw. "Am I not her son, too?" he asked, his voice trembling with a mix of anger and profound hurt. This conflict was not just about the secret. It was a painful test of their recently rebuilt sibling bond, forcing them to navigate old insecurities in the face of a terrifying new reality. His goal isn't to hurt people, but to create a crisis so large that all hidden truths must surface. The act precipitates a dramatic, mid-construction collapse that leaves several workers in peril and traps a major character in the rubble. A disaster that will have legal, financial, and mortal consequences. Ashley's new romance, a strategic or sincere alliance. Amidst the family chaos, Ashley Chambers makes a calculated, yet unexpectedly passionate, move. Still reeling from her failed engagement to Evan Sterling and her diminished status at Channing Holdings, Ashley is playing the long game for power and security. Her new romance is with none other than Marcus Thorne, the enigmatic, self-made tech billionaire who has been quietly acquiring shares in Channing Holdings through shell companies. This is not a simple flirtation. Ashley has done her homework and identified Marcus as the new apex predator in Portofino Bay's financial jungle. Their first date is a ruthlessly transparent negotiation over steak and bourbon. Ashley offers her insider knowledge of the Channing Sterling family dynamics and vulnerabilities. Marcus offers her a seat at a potentially conquering table. But spoilers reveal a fascinating turn. Their chemistry is alarmingly real. What begins as a cold alliance ignites into a genuinely passionate affair. Ashley finds herself drawn to Marcus's directness and power, a stark contrast to the emotional labyrinths of the Sterling men. This romance sends shockwaves through two key figures. Evan is consumed by a jealous rage, not out of lingering love, but from wounded pride. He cannot stand being outmaneuvered. More significantly, Victoria Sterling Buchanan recognizes Marcus Thorne as a threat that could dwarf their internal family squabbles. She begins her own covert investigation into his past, uncovering a faint but chilling connection to the long-buried Grayson family scandal that once rocked the town decades earlier. Ashley, in seeking a protector, may have willingly climbed into bed with the family's oldest, most dangerous enemy. Collision course. The Week 2 climax. The second week builds to a stunning convergence of all these threads at the annual Portofino Bay Charity Gala, held at the Gates Resort. Nicole, struggling to mask her worsening word-finding difficulties, is publicly humiliated during a speech when she loses her train of thought entirely. The video goes viral, damaging her and the family's reputation. Tyrell, uninvited and unstable, crashes the gala. Seeing his mother's humiliation and the family's performative unity, he staggers onto the stage, grabs the microphone, and begins to scream the fractured truth about Nicole's health to the entire assembled elite, a moment of brutal, tragic exposure. In the chaotic aftermath, Ashley and Marcus are seen leaving together, a united front, while a furious Evan and a calculating Victoria watch from the shadows. The episode ends with Damien finding a crumpled, tear-stained Nicole hiding in a secluded garden pavilion. As he reaches for her, she looks up, not with grief, but with a terrifying, cold fury. "This is your fault," she whispers, her words suddenly clear and venomous. "You made me weak. Now watch what strength I have left." She has decided to weaponize her remaining time, and Damien is her first target. The fallout. What comes next?